Hello, my YouTube friends. I've been kind of quiet during the past few months. I've been doing this because I was working on my other projects. I've been working on a couple pixel games for kids for education. And now I got back to my streaming resources and I really had to provide an update on my countdown timer generator for OBS Studio because nowadays you can just use a simple prompt with an AI to create a countdown timer for your live stream. So the previous generator was just useless in my opinion because it was kind of hard to use, and probably the only good thing for it was that it was providing the URL that you just used in your browser source in OBS Studio. However, I just gave it a facelift and I wanted to style it to look better and more into my StreamRC website. So in this clip, I will show you my countdown timer generator for OBS Studio, how to use it, what's new in this new version, and how you can use the ready-made template. Just download them, add them in your OBS Studio, and just play with them. So follow along. In the next couple minutes, I will show you from A to Z how to create the countdown timer using my timer.streamrsc.com. When you first boot up the generator, you will be prompted with this form. Well, at first glance, it may look very advanced. Once you start playing with the options, you will get used to it and you'll see it's very simple to understand how it works. And I will start with this panel, the timer panel, where you basically can configure the output of the countdown timer. So you can select from countdown to date, countdown from date, fixed duration countdown, and you can even just create a clock, a simple clock. That's it, that it's using either the local time or you can select any of the existing time zones. But for this tutorial, I will just use a fixed countdown that will count down from 25 minutes. Now you can have a title above the timer, you can just remove it and only have the timer. And of course, you can also have a subtitle. So this is a countdown to, I don't know, to my live stream. And as you can see, everything updates in real time. This option is mostly for the countdown timer. When it reaches 0, you can either show a message, completely hide the timer, or continue to count down to negative values. Going to the visible units, you can show including milliseconds to your countdown. And you can play with the options here. You can hide leading empty units. So if minutes become 0 here, they will be removed. As you have seen, the days and the hours were removed after I checked this option. And you can also pad the zeros. Now for the extra information, to your countdown timer, you can show the current time, current date, and the day of the week. Of course, this is using localization, and if you don't find the correct localization for your timer, leave a comment below, tell me what is missing, and I'll make sure to have it added in the next updates of my configurator. Last but not least, in this tab, we can update the labels. So if you don't want to show the labels, you can just remove them and you only have the timer. Going up next to the typography, as the title says, here you play with the fonts. There are a couple already added fonts in the selector, but again, if you don't find your favorite font, just leave a comment below and it will be added in the next versions. But for this tutorial, I will just select a pixel font since I've been playing with pixel sprites for the past couple months. Let's choose this one. Actually, I want something more pixelated, so I'll go with this one. Okay, you can play with the sizes. Of course, I removed the label, but anyways, you can play with the letter spacing, of course, the title size, but for that I'll have to add a title. And I can just play with the title size here. Now, of course, there are some fonts that have that have a variety between the uppercase and lowercase on the digit as well. So just added this option for you. And for the labels, again, you can use lowercase, you can use capitalization. Let's just add them back. Days, hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, and if I go to the typography, I can select what I want to use. And of course, we can use the italic numbers, italic labels, just to have the digits a bit um, turn it on the left. Now, moving to colors tab. Here we have various options because you can use this also as a widget in your website. But I will be focusing on the OBS Studio features, and I will just go with a transparent overlay. And I want to select some sort of purple here. I kind of like, actually, let's just pick this color because I like it. Okay, label color, it's okay. For the box, kind of like the black box here. And of course, we can also have a border, and you can also reduce the opacity of the boxes. Not too much on the color side, so let's just move on to layout. Now, here we can arrange the digits and the labels however we want. Now, let's choose the layout style. We have boxed, we have inline, segment. As you can see, they are separated by these dots. We have stacked to look more like a food, and we also have the minimal. Just numbers, boxes, no dividers, no separators, nothing else. I really like the stacked one because what I want to do here is align it to the left and just leave the vertical alignment to the center. Oh, gap between units, let's increase it a bit. As you can see, we have a higher margin here. It's probably too much. Okay, let's give it a padding to the box. That's probably too much. Let's set it to 5 pixels. No need to set the box width. I think the border radius is fair enough. And the outer padding is basically the padding in this overlay. Now moving to the interesting parts, we have the effects tab. Here we can give a text glow just to make it look a bit better. Change the glow color. Just make it white for this one. Probably too bright, but anyways. You can add a shadow to the box. We can also change the tick animation. I'll just select the flip. I don't want the pulse because if I will select the pulse, then it will basically override the animation. So let's just select subtle. As you can see, it's just pulsing, but it's not doing the animation. So I'll just remove that. I actually don't like the glow. Select something more bluish. Reduce the size. Yeah, that's probably better. I'll increase the tick speed. And here we can add these scan lines overlay just in case we want to have this overlay um, as a complete source. Basically, have the scene for I don't know, stream starting soon or something like that. Uh, just to mention here, if you select the tick animation, the milliseconds won't work because they are moving so fast that the animation can't even catch them. So if we remove that, we also have the milliseconds there. So just to have that in mind when you configure your countdown timer. And last but not least, if you really don't want to go through all these settings, you can just go to the templates. There are already 70 ready-made templates that you can choose and then go and configure them yourself. As you can see, you can change the colors, you can change everything else on predefined templates. And there's a bunch of them you can choose from. You can ignore the preview because size of the preview window is not enough for it to render it inline. When you move to OBS Studio, you will see it works just perfect. So let's select one predefined timer. I kind of like this. Let's turn off the milliseconds and add the days. There we go. And let's just download the file, save it, and open OBS Studio. Now that we are in OBS Studio, let's just create a new browser source. Select local file, browse, and search for our countdown timer. Let's set the size Full HD. So 1920, 1080, okay. And voila, this is your countdown timer. Now let's try the base 64. So I'll just copy the base 64 from here. Actually, let's copy the data URL. Go back to OBS Studio. Now the select local file and just drop the code there and hit OK. And voila, it works this way as well. So you don't have to download any files to make this work. Well, this is pretty much the update on my countdown timer generator. And if you want to see any more features or you want new fonts, just leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And of course, I've been doing this change because these days you can just use AI to create this. So instead of removing my configurator, I just decided to give it a small facelift. And who wants to use it, be my guest. It will stay free as it always was. Thank you for all who supported my projects. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do it now. And see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.